we did have some interesting sad news to report on
Interesting,
today.
sad news.
Yeah, however you want to take that. WWE came out today, and there was a report that they were going to make drastic changes today, by releasing quite a bit of talent and executives, and boy, did
Producers.
they really laid the hammer tonight. There's still more to be announced. It looks like some NXT talent are going to get released as well. So there's going to probably be some more names that hit the list tomorrow morning or afternoon
Damn.
when you wake up. But let's go over some of them that were released today, shall we? All right, we had Rusev, Kurt Angle, Eric Rowan, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, EC3, Leo Rush, Heath Slater, Sarah Logan, No Way Jose, Drake Maverick, Aiden English, Eric Young, Zack Ryder, Curtis Hawkins, Primo, and Epico.
Curtis Hawkins?
That's what they have him on here. Curtis Hawkins.
That's weird.
Mike and Maria Kanellis. And last but not least, we have Mike Chioda, who has been with the WWE, Dave, since 1989.
That's crazy.
Out of this whole list, what was the most shocking release, in your opinion?
Well, because throughout the whole day, it changed. Like, Rusev came really later.
Right.
So when I first heard all this, the OC are no more. I'm actually wearing the OC shirt. I guess I got to burn it now. But still, I mean, the OC is no more. Yeah, that was the most shocking to me when I heard they both got released. Because at this time, it was a bunch of guys like, okay, not surprised. And then later on came Rusev. And then you had Zack Ryder, which was really surprising because I guess Zack Ryder would be the most surprising on the list, probably. Other than maybe, I guess AOC. I don't know, it's a tough one, but I guess I'll say Zack because he's been there so long.
Yeah,
So is Kyoto,
15
too.
years. Deanna Peraza was released as well.
I felt bad for her because she hasn't been there that long. She just got there. And it's so strange. Everyone's been talking. When's Zack Ryder's girlfriend going to come to NXT? And she finally gets there. Hopefully she makes it through tomorrow. But, I mean, and then Zack gets released. And I know there's a lot of people talking AEW, but to me, that's one guy that Cody's always wanted, is Zack Ryder. Because that's one of his best friends. So
It's how does Rusev get fired instead of Lars Sullivan shaking? Well, now I've been reading that Lars has already been released. Like, he was released a while back. And I'm not sure if that's true or not, but yeah, seeing some of the guys that weren't released and the ones that were, it's a bit shocking. Now, we could run through the line. Like, EC3 is probably a guy that wanted out. Wasn't being used, was just getting rotted away on the roster. So him getting released was probably a blessing for him. But some of these guys, their careers are question marks. Because you can't tell me Kurt Hawkins is going to get picked up by AEW. Right? Or Impact. Maybe Impact. Maybe. But, he could maybe go to NWA or maybe Impact. But his stuff is question marks. Primo and Epico, they're not going to be wrestling in the United States. Drake Maverick? Aiden English? No Way Jose? Some of these are question marks. Now, I do think WWE is going to try to attempt to get some of these wrestlers back. I think Rowan will be a guy that WWE try to get back. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get Kurt Angle back. Maybe even Sarah Logan. But how shitty do you have to feel to be Sarah Logan when you're deemed an essential employee and you travel to Raw? And you can say it's a risk or not. And she goes to Raw, has a match, and then 2 days later get released. And then look at Drake Maverick, who was scheduled and still is going to be in the Cruiserweight tournament.
So I guess that's filmed because he said he's going to be there for a little bit, I guess.
And he gets released and then comes out on Twitter and has a very, very emotional video, which was tough to watch. You know, some others came out with video. I think Mike and Maria did. Who else? Noe Jose came out with the video today. A lot of them just tweeted out. But like Heath Slater, it's another one. It was shocking. Leo Rush, a guy that was starting to build himself back up in NXT and in WWE, and then gets released. The Good Brothers a bit shocking as well, especially since they were just in a program with The Undertaker and was in the match. But it's a very unfortunate circumstance.
No, I did hear that. I don't know if this counts with everyone, but that the NXT people who got released will still get paid up to 30 days.
Correct.
And is that for everyone?
Now I'm not sure about the WWE. I think it may be for everyone. I know Sean Ross Sapp tweeted out that if you're released from NXT, you get paid for 30 days, and you're allowed to do whatever you want.
After the 30 days, because they could always bring you back within that 30 days.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't hear about that. So
yeah, I think that's what it is, either within or like right after the 30 days, they can still try to bring you back or whatever. But after the 30 days, you can do whatever you want if they don't. I think that's what it is.
Cooked by Lashley and then kicked out of the WWE. Yikes. Yeah, Rusev was probably another one that wanted out. Now, Lana's probably not going to get fired. She just signed a new deal with the WWE, so I doubt she's going to get released. She might. Who knows?
But heck, she's not the only one who signed a new deal. I mean, Mike and Maria, they tried to get out a little while ago, too, and then they just signed a new deal, and then they get released. And the Good Brothers just signed a new deal last year.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, you know, and yes, most of them are millionaires, and yes, most of them are well off, way better than a lot of us in the real world getting laid off from our jobs. I understand that, and I'm not trying to say that we should feel sorry for them more than we should the people, you know, doing the 9-to-5 jobs. It's just an unfortunate circumstance because some of these may not end up with AEW. AEW can't just sign everybody. You know, they can't just hoard their talent like the WWE did. And that's why we saw such a massive release party tonight. Now, some of the producers will be back. Apparently, most of all of them will be back. You know, you had Hurricane Shane Helms released. Kurt Angle was released. Lance Storm was released. Fit Finlay was also released. Pat Buck was released. Who else was released, Dave? Who else am I missing?
Sarah Stock was released.
I don't know much about her, but I know she had a big...
She used to be in TNA with I don't know if you remember when Vega was in TNA as Thea Trinidad when they were with LAX. It was Sarita and Rosita.
It rings a bell, but I don't remember watching it.
Okay, but yeah, they were both... Yeah, she was there. I mean, Billy Kidman, who's been there since WCW. Yeah. You know, since they did the invasion angle, he's been there since then. So it's like, wow.
Mike Rotunda, IRS, who was on the bump that morning.
I know, isn't that crazy? And they're talking about everything about released.
It's very, very unfortunate.
How do you not release, if you're going to release employees like that, how do you not release any of those members of that show? You know, the bump. I'm not saying Kayla.
They still could.
I'm not saying Kayla. I'm just saying the rest of them.
You know, they still can. It's still possible. Why not release these guys months back? At least they could have jumped to another company. Blame
because you didn't know
for hoarding so much talent and not use them. And this is how they decide to do it. F them, to be honest.
Come on. It's because of the virus. It's because of how WrestleMania was. It's not because they could have done this months ago. It's not. If WrestleMania happened with no virus, everything is going on fine, I guarantee you all this doesn't happen.
Oh, of course. But, you know, the WWE didn't plan it. And then the XFL going bankrupt didn't help things at all.
Yep. And we found out that WWE was part owner of the XFL when they said it was got nothing to do with the XFL.
WWE released one of the writers that was in charge of the Mandy and Otis storyline. Damn shame. Yep.
And that's another sad thing, too. When you get writers who get fired, how do they get jobs? I mean, that's another thing that you're not going to see, writer was picked up by Impact. No, you're not going to see stuff like that.
Yeah,
writers, it sucks for them.
They used to release guys yearly, and all of a sudden they refuse to release guys because of competition. Yeah, and then this happened.
Now it makes more sense why the Revival got just released out of nowhere.
Yeah. They didn't want to keep paying them, or I don't know exactly the issue with the Revival. Apparently, they weren't paying them. I see. So I don't know why they let them go so quickly, but it's an unfortunate, matter that a lot of us Americans are feeling right now. The coronavirus is killing a lot of businesses and it's hurting a lot of businesses, and Vince McMahon didn't plan this really well. Hoarding the talent, and then you got the Meltzers out there saying that WWE didn't have to do this and that Vince McMahon is just doing that so he can get profit still. And we don't know what the truth is.
I think something like they mentioned, I think someone retweeted it where he said that they have like $500 million, and by cutting all this talent, they only really saved like $4 million.
Yeah, they pretty much saved what they paid Goldberg for his Saudi appearance or something around those lines, or a Saudi and WrestleMania appearance. Something I can't remember.
Well, I mean, they could have done this because ESPN is doing something similar where they're having their top talent take a 15% pay cut. I guarantee you, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Stephanie, and Triple H didn't take no big pay cut, or even Shawn Michaels. I mean, guys like that, they could have took a big pay cut and saved all that money. I guarantee it.
Well, we don't know exactly how much Shawn Michaels makes. And we don't know how much. I mean, Triple H probably makes a lot more than Shawn, I'm assuming. But, you're not going to see that happen. They're not going to do that. It's not in their DNA to take pay cuts on their own extent. It's not going to happen. It's an unfortunate thing that happened, and we're going to see some more releases. But some of these wrestlers are not going to be on AEW, folks. I know how everybody wants to see them just jump ship and join AEW, but you got to assume that AEW is not going to just blow money on all these wrestlers, and that they're going to probably pick the guys that they feel that will benefit from being signed by AEW. So,
and plus, the reason they did this too is no one's going to be hiring wrestlers right now because everyone's going to be on a hiring freeze. There's going to be a freeze on hiring anybody because Impact isn't. Maybe they will. I don't know. But Impact, ROH, AEW, they're not going to be hiring new people because no one's running shows right now. So that's another reason too, is because there's going to be no place for these people to work either because no one's running anything.
Vince gets no sympathy, hoarding talent, putting on shows when nobody else is performing, giving Florida Republicans $19 million for re-election campaigns.
18.5.
Pretty much 19 if you round it up. Think about all the money they are losing from shows and merch and ticket sales. Yeah, WWE's not making much money at all, and that's another reason why they're lucky to have that TV deal that they have with USA. And
think about how much money they make during WrestleMania usually.
Oh, they make a shitload of money for.
And compared to what they lost this year, I mean, they're not even making up for that here. So, yeah, it's ain't bad. I wonder what happens to NXT and NXT UK. Do they lose talent? I mean, we'll see.
Ravenblood, that's great point there. Nor should AEW just push down the talent they already have for former WWE stars, Darby Allin,
don't do that.
Sammy, etc. Yeah, because then you're going to be called TNA.
Exactly, that's what TNA did. They just wanted all the big ex-WWE guys and pushed them. That's what Dixie did. And look how it'll work for a while, but it won't work for long because look at Impact right now.
Yeah, and then people are going to eventually, call it Impact 2.0 or look, they're doing what Impact did. And yeah, exactly.
There's some guys they should definitely go after. I mean, honestly, when everything is back to normal, hopefully they can't hire everyone, obviously, but there are some definite guys that they should go after. There's no question that everyone's going to, in the long run, when everything's back to normal, hopefully sooner than later, this is going to be a real beneficial to a lot of other companies. You're going to have a lot of talent out there that can go each place. ROH, Impact, New Japan,
how much did
NWA.
They get, Jeffrey Cross? You know how much they got in their their paid insurance pay for not having WrestleMania? Hey, Richie, thanks for the bits there, brother. Now, Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux debuted tonight at the end of NXT, says Kay Ballard. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. Thanks, Yeah, everybody else told us his name is. I can't remember what the fuck his name was. I agree with you on the fact that the AEW cannot sign any more talent. They only have 1 2-hour show, no live events for the foreseeable future. They might be hurting soon if this drags on for 1 year or more, says Ian Dunn. Oh, you never heard? Okay, I can see those 4 in the revival, says Red Sox fan. WWE needs to sign Silky Pains. Not at the time, says K. Wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean by there, K. Ballard? But you did say AEW should go out and sign some of these WWE guys. Now let me put up the photo here. Rusev, yes, right?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
I'm gonna skip over Kurt because apparently their producers are going to be coming back. Eric Rowan.
The way how highly Jericho and Brody were talking about him, it seems like they want him there because they were talking highly of Rowan because him and Jericho even go to the same church.
Good brothers.
Definitely, I think they should go there, but who knows? They might want to go back to Japan.
That EC3.
No, I don't get why everyone's on EC3 going to AEW. He's basically MJF.
I think Ravensblood said to team him up with MJF. Think that would work?
Maybe it could be similar to how they have him in MLW or had him in MLW with Hammerstone and I can't think of his name now, but the lawyer guy under Bob Ruski knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, the lawyer guy.
So where would you go if you were EC3? You go back to Impact?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know, man. I mean, AEW would work wonders for EC3, but they may not want him. Don't forget NWA. That is true. Leo Rush.
Yeah, I think he could. Man, but with all these guys keep saying yes, AEW, they're gonna start running out of room because, like we said, they only have a 2-hour show. So we can't just keep saying AEW everywhere, because they're gonna run out of talent to use everybody. No one watches NWA.
Jesus, Heath Slater.
I could see him maybe like an Impact, possibly. I could see that.
Sarah Logan.
Or maybe somewhere else. That's tough. And maybe Japan. I don't know what her background is too. I didn't know much about Sarah Dobson before. So, maybe. Or even like Impact, they love pushing the women, so that's a possibility too.
Impact would benefit off Sarah Logan.
Yeah,
honestly, they would.
They like to grab these kind of forgotten, lost toys and make something out of them.
I agree. I think Logan would benefit a lot to go to Impact. AEW could use her as well because their women's division isn't the strongest either. But I think I would enjoy seeing her in Impact. No way, Jose. I don't know much where he.
I don't know. I would say it again. Impact would probably fit for him too.
Impact would be a nice fit for No Way. Drake Maverick.
I hope someone gives him a shot. I feel bad for the guy. After that video, I hope one of these companies has to give him even if AEW, Impact, ROH, even if he goes back to England. There's still some stuff over there. But I hope someone gives him a shot. I don't know where, but I hope someone does.
Leo Rush would fit with Impact in the X division. They just signed Chris Bay a few weeks ago, and he's looking good so far. Yeah, he would. He would really look. I think he would benefit and help out that Impact division very, very much as well. Ravenswood, we do Impact watch parties here as well, so you're more than welcome to join us if you ever want to check out Impact and with a bunch of people. We do Impact.
I might surprise you with this next one. One of the ones I was going to say, but go ahead.
Aiden English.
I think he would fit if he wants to keep doing commentary. I think he would be a good replacement for Don Callis on Impact commentary, unless he wants to still wrestle.
Okay, all right. Okay. I can't disagree with you on that. I don't know what he was doing in WWE. I know he was commentating for 205 Live for a little bit, but I'm not sure what he was doing after that. But yeah, I could see him doing some commentary work for Impact. I wouldn't mind that. Eric Young.
I hope he goes somewhere else, but I don't want to say Impact, but maybe ROH. Eric Young, I see that, but if he does want to go back where he's familiar and he could probably get a good run, probably be Impact. But I think ROH could work well for Eric Young too.
Who does AEW release if they pick up any of these names? Spears, Sonny Kiss, Avalon, Havoc, Janela?
You just named them.
You would release Joey Janela, Dave?
Hell yeah. Marco Stunt too. There you go.
God damn. Aiden sounds too much like Kermit on commentary. You know what? Now I'm gonna always think about that when he talks. Rusev to AEW would be unstoppable, says K-Ball. Man, imagine the pop if he showed up with fans that he would get. Zack Ryder.
I hate to say this, but I think Cody would want Zack Ryder in AEW because that's one of his best friends. No, don't do that to him. Team up. He can be one of Cody's friends, but I can see. Oh, great! Doesn't want Cody. He's gonna put a chair on the back of his head now. But still, it would be weird seeing Zack Ryder anywhere. So that's what's gonna be strange.
Kurt Hawkins.
He has his own promotion.
I think he does have his own little promotion.
I could see
NWA,
Impact, NWA, anywhere. Okay.
To me, it fits Kurt Hawkins perfectly. The Colognes.
Puerto Rico. Because I think they're going to go run their dad's promotion with Carlito or Carlos.
Avalon is a producer like Cutler. I didn't know Cutler was a producer. That's news to me. Mike and Maria.
I think it's going to be two places. I was going to say go back to ROH and New Japan again, I think, because they did some stuff. Go back to the Kingdom. Why not? Because they're still running around with Matt Taven, so I believe they are anyway, so why not team them back up?
How many chances would Colognes get with WWE? What do you mean, Brian? Retired and parenting, says Truth the Lord. Damn, Ryder can do more action figure videos now. Man, y'all are being ruthless. Mike and Maria, AEW with Cody and Brandy. Oh, relived that feud they had an Impact. Look, Mike Chioda, man. This dude, if he's not brought back, needs to go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
I could see him doing something in like a producer role for like referees. I don't know if they have that, but maybe a head official who kind of helps them with stuff maybe. Get a real referee in there to help them know what they're doing. That would help out a lot, I think.
But man, dude, like out of all these guys, I feel more bad for Chioda. Like I really feel bad for the dude because I was reading online that he was going to retire soon, and he may just retire now. But to be with that company for so damn long and was still being used.
Well, there's always a podcast world.
Yeah, podcast. Yeah, they could write a book. It's just.
Hey, it's Conrad. It's Conrad calling Mike Chioda for all his years at WWE.
He was there since 1989, so do the math.
Think of all the stories he probably knows.
MLW will probably pick up somebody. Yeah, MLW. We didn't even mention MLW. They'll probably try to grab some guys.
Yeah, but MLW does more of like per date basis, I believe. They don't do so much like. Well, no one does exclusive contracts anymore. I guess that doesn't really matter. So yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah, Karrion Kross. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's going to be take some time to get used to that. Chioda probably has a lot of inside stories to tell. Hit the podcast circuit. Dude,
yeah,
Jericho's podcast is going to be fire like the next
who does he go for first? Dude, does he go I hope.
You can have Rusev.
Holy shit.
Zack Ryder.
You know what I really hope?
Rusev would, man, what's that?
You know what I really hope for again? Because now they're free. I want Talking Shop back. I want their podcast back. You know if you know what I'm talking about, but Gallows and Anderson in Japan had a podcast called Talking Shop, and it was one of the funniest shit you'll ever hear.
They might, they have a lot of time.
Because they're free, yeah. I hope they bring Talking Shop back. That shit is hilarious.
I'm not picking up anyone. I'm married to someone, and he refed some of the biggest matches ever because the wrestlers wanted him, like Taker Sean. Yeah, he was really well respected by the wrestling, by the crew. And I'm, with a lot of these wrestlers, yes, they'll be able to either hit the indie scene whenever everything starts opening up again.
Vote on the poll on Twitter, 50 to 50 with a day left.
Yes, go vote on Richie Vargas's poll. Richie Vargas dropped enough bits to where I have to buy either a Madison Rain t-shirt or a Joey Ryan t-shirt, Dave. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Madison Rain, and Joey Ryan, I really don't have any comments on him, but the t-shirt says, I support Joey's dick. So imagine wearing that out in public, Dave. So you can go...
Like, hi, Mom!
You can go vote on Richie's poll, and you'll decide what shirt I'll be buying. Everyone buy the I Got Kids t-shirt. Yes, and Zach.
What about Drake?
What about Drake Maverick?
Go buy his shirt. Help him out.
You know, Dolph Ziggler came out with a pretty heartwarming tweet today saying, no, if you want to support these wrestlers during these times, go out to pro wrestling tees or wherever they're selling t-shirts at and buy their t-shirts. I know we're all going through some shit as well, so you may not be able to go and buy a $25 to $35 t-shirt. But if you can, I would really, put in some thought on that, because I'm not saying that these guys are hurting, but it would definitely, bring up their spirits to see.
Well, it's not like Drake was there long making millions of dollars.
Go out there and buy their, their stuff. Did you see Ziggler's tweet about supporting these guys? Now Braun Strowman dislikes the tweet. Yeah, Braun Strowman's not looking great in this situation at all. But it's a tough situation, and a lot of these wrestlers will end up probably back on the indie market in a couple of months, or in a certain company in a couple of months, whenever everything's back to normal, if that ever happens.
Is there someone on that list that we talked about just now that would surprise you that if they went to AEW?
Surprise. No, not. I mean, maybe Kurt Angle. Surprise.
I mean, someone actually wrestles.
Yeah,
but yeah, like, would it shock you that they got signed? Like, oh, they went there. I'm surprised they went there. Wow.
Madison Rain has been great on commentary these last few weeks. She was owning Josh Matthews last night.
Yeah, I heard that little thing about the tough enough thing.
Yeah, she got him there. Pretty burned him pretty good there. I'll admit on that one. You didn't hear it from me because I'll get in trouble with my sister, but my sister just had her kid. Well, congratulations there, Richie. You are now a uncle. So congratulations, my friend. WWE doesn't deserve any of these names back if they try to re-sign them. They're going to try to re-sign some of them, I would have to assume. And they're...
Would it surprise you if Eric Rowan went to AEW?
No, because of Brody and Jericho. I feel like that guy will be there. I feel like they're going to have him in AEW. Absolutely. Mike Kanellis would surprise me, says Bill.
I don't know if much of a surprise, but I think guys that people think are going to go to Impact if they went to AEW would be nice.
Like Heath Slater showing up would be a shocker to me.
Like an Eric Young to me too would be shocking if he ended up in AEW. Because people expect him just to go back to... Or EC3 would be a shocker. Maybe not that much, because everyone's picking him to go to AEW, which I think it could work, I guess. But his new look he's trying to pull off maybe be something different he's doing. Who knows?
Will he bring his cage? I think Rowan is telling WWE they could shove that cage up their ass, I think, right about now. But yeah, it was a difficult day. And I'm sure by Saturday night, when we do our Saturday night show here, there's going to be more releases out. We can get in a little bit more into detail with this stuff. But I just wanted to go over it tonight because it would just be silly not to. It was huge news throughout the whole day. You had wrestlers tweet about it all day. WWE wrestlers were tweeting about it all day. And Seth Rollins came out with a video, which I didn't get, but I'll have it on Saturday, talking about the releases. It's just a sad day for wrestling fans because you don't want to see people get fired. I know some of these wrestlers probably wanted to get released eventually because they weren't getting used and they feel like they could go somewhere else, and they may go somewhere else. But you don't want to see so many people get fired. There was at least 30 people probably, maybe 40 at the end of the day that are going to get fired.
Yeah, some of these people really getting fired. Look, some of them have been there for years and years, and probably could use a change of scenery to help them do something a little bit different, maybe.
Right.
But some of the people who got fired today were truly fans, and they've always wanted to be there, like Deanna Purrazzo, Drake Maverick. I mean, that they fought so hard just to get there, and now they're only there a short time and they're gone. That's who I really feel bad for them, because yes, I feel bad for the other ones too, but the other ones who have been there for over 10 years, 16 years, who could probably use a change of scenery.
Right, and
something different.
And during these certain times too, it makes it a little bit rougher for them as well. And
everybody, yeah.
Drake Maverick, man, video that he came out and he's just talking about how he made it and the support and how he loves everyone, and he's crying at the end. It's just like, man, you can just feel your heart just shattering, feeling for the man, because he's a guy that you don't expect to be in the ring because of his height and weight and stuff around those lines, and he fought and crawled and clawed his way to Impact, and then got recognition enough to get signed by the WWE. And this dude did everything. Like, he put his heart on the line with everything, with the whole stuff with his wife, being half naked on television.
Yeah, he did everything.
Doing this 24/7 bit, peed his fucking pants on television. Like, this guy did everything to entertain the fans, and you feel bad for him because you don't know what's in.
And it's strange because we talk about, I know everyone hates Braun Strowman, but those were two of his best friends in WWE. EC3 and Drake, they were his best friends. They all hung out together. Yeah,
and maybe EC3 goes to AEW. Maybe he brings in Drake as a manager. I don't know. It's just, I don't want to end on a depressing note, but it's sad. It really is sad. And I hope everybody who lost their job today ends up finding one when everything eventually opens back up, which we will soon. But tough day for WWE. If you want to think about it that way. I know a lot of people are saying screw Vince.
Yeah, but today's world, it's like no one can get hired right now because even if there is a 90-day clause, still we don't know maybe that's a good thing that there is a kind of a waiting period right now because.
Good point, Ravens, bud. Good point. She said, unfortunately, this isn't like the Monday Night Wars where it's somewhat easy for wrestlers to jump between promotions.
Yeah, but back then there was only 2 places to go. Now there's so much more places for people to wrestle. Yeah. At the moment, no, because everything is shut down.
But here's the thing, too, though. When everything does open back up, who's to say that MLW will be able to sign these guys? Who's to say AEW is going to be able to sign these guys? Or Impact? It's going to affect companies for quite some time to where they're not going to be able to, hand over fist a lot of money to these wrestlers, because obviously
they might have to take a smaller pay too.
AEW is going to want the revival. I think on the top of the list right now is probably the revival for AEW. They're not going to become over cheap. They're going to cost some money, and they're going to pick and choose who they want. So a lot of these wrestlers might be out.
I think their friends will be too, though. I mean, because I think they're going to want Gallows and Anderson. At least Kenny and the Young Bucks probably will want Carl Anderson and Gallows over there.
Yeah, but we just don't know how like Ian Dunn says, we don't know how the landscape's going to be when.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but I just think their list is going to be so big that they want everyone, but they can't have everyone.
Right.
So it's going to take how are you going to do it? Who's going to go where? Are Gallows and Anderson going to stay where they're at? Or are they going to go to? I can't see them going to Impact. Sorry, but I mean ROH maybe. I mean, some people talk that FTR could end up in NWA, which I don't see that, but okay.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see where we're at.
Drake would give comp to Marco Stunt if he signs with AEW. They could have a 3-way with Cassidy in the taller division. Wow, Shrimgoon. Wow. But yeah, and then here I come out with a question on Twitter, Dave. And how dare I ask a question on Twitter? Jesus, man. I just put WWE doing a bunch of releases. The contracts of Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan's are up during the summer. Is there a possibility WWE just cuts ties with them? Boy, you would have thought I talked about someone's mother on Twitter, Dave. yeah, they're just going to drop people that earn them money. They're just going to just give up people that entertain them. Oh, they're just going to give up people to the other company. That's not what I was fucking saying. I was trying to say that if WWE is trying to save a lot of money, who's to say they're going to want to sign these guys in a couple of months when times are not better yet? So maybe they just say, hey, bye-bye, do your thing. I'm not saying it's going to happen because obviously they're not going to release Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan. I mean, is it possible? Yeah. But it's not going to happen. And how dare I ask a question on Twitter, Dave? Jeez.
More like Adam Cole, I think, than Daniel Bryan.
My God. Like, you would have thought I talked so bad about someone's mother on Twitter. These responses were making me laugh. I was just like, these are not shots at Adam Cole or Daniel Bryan. It's just a question. I'm not saying that they deserve to be released, and I'm not saying that they're not giving this company money. Like, God damn, folks, calm down. Take a chill pill. Get your panties out of your ass and relax. The responses were unreal. You heard a lot of people's feelings right.
Give me what I want.
Also, where is Tony's? We reached 6,000 followers.
There it is right there, Richie Vargas. Yes, thank you, everybody. We reached 6,000 followers on Twitter. Thank you so much, everybody, for following us over on the Twitters. I appreciate that. Wait, did Trump put Vince on the commission advising when to end the lockdown? I think it's more with dealing with the sports aspect of it.
No, he said he's going to listen to Vince McMahon, one of the people he's listened to advise him when to open back up for the U.S. to save. I think it'll be sports too, but I'm just saying just open
because it was
the
him
U.S. back
and
up.
two other people, I think. Two other sports.
It was like MLB. He said all of those sports commissioners, including Vince and Dana White too. I think's on that list. But yeah,
you should have told them to go change their tampon. Like they had to. Truth and Loyalty. It was like, God damn, how dare you mention Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan getting released? Like I'd expect the Daniel Bryan shit from Dave, but not from everybody else. Like, God damn, Dave didn't even get offended by that shit.
I think Daniel Bryan could use a change of scenery, honestly.
I mean, it's all about money, If WWE needs the money to be better or make a profit, yeah, they're gonna release who they need to release. Vince has no loyalty, only to a couple of people.
Hashtag bizarre. Dave thinks Daniel Bryan is the best wrestler to ever to walk on this planet.
Yeah, you are, Dave. It's absolutely
That's a new
true.
one.
I'm going to sleep for a while before work, so about 30 minutes. All right, Richie Vargas, appreciate you, brother, for stopping by. Vince is loyal to his wallet. Exactly. Wait, I read that one. Wrestling union, anyone? I think they need one more than ever now. I'm sure it's never going to happen. But yeah, I hear you on that. It's going to hurt Trump to hire Vince to lead his open business backup group, and then Linda making this huge reelect Trump super PAC. Then they'll fire all these people. Yeah, I don't want to get all political and shit. I really don't.
No.
I don't really care what's going on over there. I hope Styles leaves. Just want to see him versus Omega. Yeah, I don't think Styles is leaving. I think
he might want to after this shit.
He's gonna, that gif of what's his name? Will Smith walks into his living room and there's no furniture there. I think it's the season finale. He's just looking around and there's nobody there. That's AJ Styles returning to Raw locker room and doesn't have Gallows and Anderson there waiting for him.
I know he was on the Mixer the other night. He said Zombie Styles was playing on Mixer. I'm like, that's funny shit.
Are most people in real life loyal to their wallet? Yes. But Vince doesn't give a shit about anybody. There's probably a handful who Vince actually really gives a shit about. I don't want to blame WWE for all of this, so I'm just disappointed for all of it. That's fine. I feel you, noob. I hear you.
Yeah, and who's to say that... I'm not saying it's going to happen like to everywhere, but what's going to happen to everyone else, though? Because... like the other companies, they're not really running shows either, and they can't be making much money either from Impact's been doing the same thing for a while, but still. Like AEW is a new company, and they're losing probably millions of dollars, maybe not millions, but they could be close to losing millions with all the fans in attendance, ticket prices, merchandise.
I mean,
They're losing a lot of money too.
All these companies are going to be hit hard, and it's
ROH.
It's going to affect the landscape of wrestling for quite some time. It's going to take a while for a lot of these companies to be able to catch up and be able to go out and sign some of these guys or do what they were doing back when shows were running with a live audience. So if AEW lays like 7 people off, are they assholes too now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Will people bitch at them for doing it?
I think they'll get bitched at. I think they will. I don't think it'll be the same as what Vince is getting.
No.
But I do feel like there's some backlash to it. I would at least assume. You can't just think everybody's attacking WWE because it's WWE, even though there is people out there like that.
Yeah, because if they release some of kind of like WWE did today, if they release some of the lower end people that they have in AEW who aren't really being used, I mean, would they really get blamed too much for it? I don't know if they would.
It's not just Vince now. It's all the stupid board of directors. They are just as bad as he is. They are loyal to their stocks and their wallet. When WWE went public, it was the death blow. Yeah. Good point, Ganikis. You're right. It's all about
this virus has been the death blow to everyone because everyone's losing millions of dollars. WWE, and not just wrestling and sports, but restaurants, bars, movie theaters. Everyone is losing.
Movie theaters, the worst.
Tons of money.
I was reading online. I'm not trying to sway this to a different topic, but I was reading online that movie theaters may never come back. Like they may be shut down forever.
And streaming is doing. They're saying honestly, that trolls.
Raise your hand or put a 1 in the chat room. When this is all said and done, what are the odds of you going back to the movie theaters and going to see a movie? Press 1 in the chat room. You, Dave? I mean,
I'm sure a lot of us. I don't know, because now what's going to be in all of our heads now is, do we want to go back out? Or what about a sporting event again? Are you going to be less hesitant to want to go out anymore and go to these places again?
Well, you're going to hope. Like, what if you got to hope and pray that at least by the time a year from now happens, that a vaccine is out to where people are taking it and preventing all this shit.
Yeah, I agree with that, yes, and I hope that it does happen sooner than later. But I'm saying, are people going to be less hesitant to kind of do what they used to do more?
Oh, yeah,
like thinking in the back of their mind, like, oh, do I want to shake this person's hand? Do I want to high five this person or whatever? Are you going to be less likely to be more close to
you're
somebody?
Fine, Ravensblood. You're good. You're good to go, Ravensblood. Same with you, Ganikis. I used to be a moviegoer a lot. Kind of once I had kids, I kind of, I didn't really go as much as I used to. Kind of saw, if there was a movie I really, really wanted to see, I'd go and see it. But things are going to change. Like I was reading online that people are thinking that more than likely now people are going to be getting their temperature checked when they go to stuff like this, like live events like this, and it's going to be weird, man. Let me get to the comments real quick. WWE really missed out on putting Balor, AJ Gallows, and Anderson together, especially when Bullet Club was having their Civil War 2 years ago, says Ravens.
Yeah, they could have had so much opportunity to put them all together.
Yep, we'll never get the Club versus Undisputed Era. I know that was another one that people were hoping to see.
Yeah, the full Club.
AEW is understandable because they are a new company. WWE is established with the network, stockholders, TV, and Saudi. Yeah. If WWE didn't do this SmackDown team with Fox, would the pressure have been as bad as to lay them off, says Shroomgoon. I don't know. I honestly think, and I'm like, Vince McMahon is a different guy, obviously. But I would like to assume that if there wasn't a limit on how many pre-tape shows that they could have, that they would have already pre-taped far in advance. And yes, there's other stuff that they could air on their shows too as well. But in the dirt sheets, apparently USA and Fox only allows them to do 3 pre-taped shows. So Vince was kind of stuck where he was at. What is he going to do?
Yeah, and it's all because, and people, it's fun to blame Vince, I get it. But if it wasn't for this virus going around, shut down everything, none of this, I don't think, would even be happening or even talking about. So that's another thing. People want to blame Vince for the virus, kind of now, but I don't think you can.
Vince started fucking coronavirus. It's all Vince McMahon's fault. They're
Because
going
if
to be
WrestleMania is going on with thousands of fans there, I mean, hundreds of thousands of fans, I mean, none of this is even happening right now.
Yeah, yeah. I've been watching movies from my phone for the past 3 years. Pay $50 to see a movie, too expensive for me. Damn, but maybe movie was a wrong example to use because a lot of people don't.
Well, because now you look on Vudu and stuff online, they want you to rent some of these in-theater movies for $20.
Hey, look. I don't blame them for doing that because how are they going to make money off these movies if nobody's going to the theaters?
Well, I guess that Trolls movie did really well on streaming.
I'll raise my hand. I bought Trolls. My kids were one of them that wanted to see Trolls. What is it?
It was like a worldwide
World
thing.
Rockstar Trolls. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, I bought it. I bought it on Amazon Prime. I bought it on Amazon. I was
not about to spend $20 on a Vin Diesel movie. I'm sorry. Like, no, thank you.
Vince created the virus to kill his competition, said Ian Dunn. Kurt Angle should have just retired instead of fired. I hear you on that, Brian.
That reminds me of the NWO promo. I'm going to inject a lethal dose of poison.
In a sweet home theater is all you need. Apps and some popcorn. Don't forget the popcorn. If movie theaters cease to exist, do these Hollywood dopes still going to get $20 million per film?
Yeah, I mean, everything's going to go to Netflix.
That's a good question. A lot of that's very true. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up tonight, guys. I think that's gonna be the it.
And if people don't know, HBO is unlocked for free right now if you don't have it.
Quick little question.
All right.
I just got this from Bob Ruski in our Discord. Take this as you will. Dan Matha, Serena Deb, Ono, Ace Still, and Kendo Cashin were all released, but please don't take this as a solid till it's fully said. So there you go. Serena Deb.
Who's that?
Deeb? Serena Deeb?
Is that the one who was in the Mae Young Classic? I didn't know she was still working there.
Dan Matha. I think he was
on
NXT UK, right?
Yeah.
Cassius
Ono.
Cassius
again.
Ace Still and Kendo Cashin were also released. But this is rumors.
Damn.
This hasn't been listed yet as we speak. So we'll find out probably more tomorrow. I mean.